Oh, hey. Hey, darling, how you doing?
I am tip-top terrific and so happy to be here. And I have to tell you, Dad always spoke about you so much. He would always tell us kids about how much he loved you.
Steve Irwin's family has just shared heartbreaking news with the world. A tragic announcement that has left fans in tears. After years of carrying on Steve's incredible legacy, the Irwin family is now facing a devastating moment. One that could change the future of Australia Zoo and their conservation work forever. Just moments ago, Terry, Bindi, and Robert Irwin revealed shocking news that nobody was prepared for. What happened? Why is this moment so emotional? And what does it mean for the Irwin family's future? Stay with us as we break down the heartbreaking news that Steve Irwin's family has just shared with the world. An announcement that will forever change the way we remember the crocodile hunter and his family. Steve Irwin's legacy is one that has lived on through his family, and especially through his children. For years, the Irwin family has carried the torch for wildlife conservation, preserving Steve's passionate mission to protect animals and their natural habitats. Steve, known as the crocodile hunter, touched millions of lives worldwide through his daring adventures and infectious enthusiasm for wildlife. His sudden death in 2006 left a hole in the hearts of his fans, but his family, Terry, Bindi, and Robert, didn't let his vision fade. Terry, his wife, became a steadfast leader in continuing Steve's conservation work at Australia Zoo. Bindi, Steve's daughter, quickly followed in his footsteps, becoming a wildlife expert, TV personality, and global advocate for animal rights. Robert, Steve's son, embraced the world of wildlife conservation as well, showcasing his knowledge and love for animals on various platforms. The family's dedication to wildlife and conservation has been nothing short of incredible. Today, Australia Zoo continues to thrive, but it's clear that it hasn't been easy. As passionate as they are about continuing Steve's work, there have always been challenges. The announcement from the Irwin family today has taken the world by surprise, and fans are now anxiously waiting to find out what this heartbreaking revelation could mean for their beloved zoo and the future of their work. Just moments ago, the Irwin family shared an announcement that has sent shockwaves through the world. Terry, Bindi, and Robert Irwin, standing together with heavy hearts, broke the news in a deeply emotional video, revealing that they are facing a crisis unlike anything they've encountered before. This is not just another challenge they've had to overcome. This is something that will have a profound impact on their lives and the future of Australia Zoo. Fans who have followed the Irwin family's journey for years, watching their passion for wildlife and dedication to conservation, were not prepared for the news that was about to unfold. In the emotional video, the Irwin family shared that a devastating turn of events has left them at a crossroads. The family, who has always been seen as pillars of strength, appeared visibly shaken as they spoke about what lies ahead. Although they did not go into full detail, it was clear that this crisis is something bigger than what anyone could have imagined. The family's future is uncertain, and they are now facing decisions that could change everything. Terry, speaking on behalf of the family, explained that while their commitment to Steve's vision remains unwavering, they are now forced to make difficult choices for the future of Australia Zoo. Steve's dream was to create a place where we could all come together to protect wildlife and preserve the beauty of our planet. But sometimes, the challenges we face are beyond our control, she said, her voice trembling with emotion. The announcement also shed light on the impact this crisis could have on the ongoing projects at Australia Zoo, as well as the family's wildlife conservation efforts around the world. With the entire world watching, the Irwin family's vulnerability was on full display. The news came as a complete shock, especially considering how much the family has always worked to remain strong and keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles they've faced. As the family finished the announcement, the weight of the moment hung heavy in the air. Fans from all over the world flooded social media with support, offering words of encouragement and expressing concern for the Irwin family's well-being. But the burning question remained: what was this crisis? And how would it affect the future of Steve Irwin's legacy and their life's work? This devastating revelation has left fans and followers everywhere wondering what happens next. As soon as the announcement hit the internet, fans and close associates of the Irwin family were quick to react, expressing both shock and concern. What struck many was the palpable emotional weight in the voices of Terry, Bindi, and Robert as they spoke. The Irwin family has always been a beacon of strength, resilience, and unity. For those who have followed their journey over the years, watching them tackle the challenges of running Australia Zoo and continuing Steve's conservation efforts, seeing them vulnerable in this moment was jarring. What made this news even more heart-wrenching was how deeply personal it was. Friends and fans alike, who have known the Irwin family for years, took to social media, sharing their own reactions and messages of support. Several of the Irwin family's closest colleagues in the wildlife conservation community, including animal experts and past collaborators, posted heartfelt tributes and reassurances that the family would get through this together. "We've all witnessed the strength of the Irwin family for years. Whatever this is, they will face it head-on, just like they've always done," said one longtime colleague of the Irwins. But the most touching messages came from those who have worked closely with Bindi, Robert, and Terry in various conservation initiatives. The way they approach challenges with compassion and determination is why we all believe in their work, said a fellow conservationist. They inspire us every day. Still, the questions remained. What exactly were the details of the crisis the family was facing? Why had they chosen now to break this news? Speculation was rampant. Some believed it might have to do with the zoo's financial struggles, while others wondered if it was something related to the health of one of the family members. Bindi, known for her own commitment to wildlife, posted a personal message expressing her gratitude for the support of the Irwin family's fans, and reinforcing that, no matter what, they would continue to fight for wildlife conservation. But the details of the crisis remained vague, leaving fans with more questions than answers. Many also speculated whether the pressure of running Australia Zoo, as well as the emotional toll of Steve's death all those years ago, could be weighing heavily on the family. "The loss of Steve was a devastating blow," one fan commented, "and it's clear that even though they've carried on his work, that pain doesn't just go away. This family has sacrificed so much." As more reactions poured in, the overwhelming support from fans around the world was clear. Social media feeds were flooded with messages of love, encouragement, and well wishes. Yet, the Irwin family's heartfelt announcement was a stark reminder that even the most resilient families face moments of hardship, and no matter how strong they appear, they too must face the challenges life throws at them. The Irwin family's announcement has sent ripples through the wildlife conservation community, especially given the critical role Australia Zoo plays in the family's mission to protect animals and their habitats. For decades, Australia Zoo has been the centerpiece of Steve Irwin's vision, a sanctuary for endangered species, a breeding ground for wildlife preservation, and a place that educates and inspires people from all over the world. However, as the Irwins face this new and devastating crisis, many wonder what this means for the zoo and the future of their conservation initiatives. In their announcement, the family made it clear that their commitment to Steve's vision remains unwavering, but they also acknowledged that significant changes may be on the horizon. Australia Zoo has always been more than just a zoo. Terry Irwin said. "It's a place where we fight every single day to make a difference for wildlife. But right now, we are in the middle of a very difficult situation, and we need to focus on the next steps." Although the exact details of the crisis have not been fully revealed, the family's acknowledgement of the challenges facing them raised concerns about the zoo's future. Could this crisis impact the zoo's ability to continue its mission? For fans of the zoo, this announcement raises questions about what will happen to the wildlife and the team that runs the zoo if the Irwins are forced to step back from their duties. With the zoo's future at stake, many fear that without the leadership of the Irwin family, the zoo could be at risk. Yet, the Irwin family remains committed to finding a solution, with Bindi Irwin offering a hopeful message despite the uncertainty. "We've been through hardships before, but Steve taught us that we're never alone in this fight, and we're going to keep fighting for wildlife," she said. However, running a zoo like Australia Zoo, which is home to thousands of animals, is no easy task. The challenges that the Irwin family faces go beyond the daily operations of the zoo. It involves managing funds, maintaining partnerships, securing resources for conservation programs, and ensuring the health and safety of the animals. Some fans have expressed concerns that the family may be spread too thin, juggling personal challenges with the weight of running such a massive operation. The zoo's global outreach programs, wildlife rescue missions, and conservation efforts have been pivotal in saving countless species. With this new crisis looming, what happens to those programs? How will the Irwin family continue to balance their personal struggles with their professional responsibilities? While the family remains tight-lipped about the exact nature of their challenges, there's no doubt that the emotional toll this news has taken on them will have ripple effects throughout the zoo and the broader conservation community. The question now is, will the Irwin family be able to overcome this heartbreaking situation, or will this mark the beginning of a new chapter where the future of Australia Zoo is uncertain? As the world processes the heartbreaking news from the Irwin family, much of the focus is now shifting to Bindi and Robert, Steve Irwin's children, who have become the faces of Australia Zoo's future. Bindi, who has been an advocate for wildlife conservation since she was a child, and Robert, who has followed in his father's footsteps as a wildlife expert and television personality, have both become integral to the zoo's operations and global outreach. The announcement of this crisis raises important questions about what lies ahead for the two siblings. Bindi, who was just 8 years old when her father Steve tragically passed away, has been a driving force behind the conservation efforts at Australia Zoo. As the zoo's global ambassador, she has worked tirelessly to carry on her father's legacy. Bindi's passion for wildlife has earned her a dedicated following, and she has used her platform to advocate for endangered species, education programs, and environmental protection. However, with the news of this new crisis, fans are now wondering how this will affect her role at the zoo. Will Bindi be able to continue balancing her personal life with her duties at Australia Zoo, especially as a mother to her young daughter, Grace Warrior? Her connection to Steve's vision has always been unshakable, but now, faced with this unexpected challenge, it's clear that the future of the zoo may rest on her shoulders more than ever before. Robert Irwin, Steve's youngest child, has also grown into an influential figure in the wildlife conservation community. Like his father, Robert has shown an unwavering commitment to animal welfare and conservation. His deep knowledge of wildlife and infectious enthusiasm have made him a favorite among viewers. In recent years, Robert has become a key figure in Crikey. It's the Irwins, the show that follows the Irwin family's daily lives at Australia Zoo. Robert's charm, work ethic, and dedication to his father's legacy have earned him global recognition. But now, with the family facing this crisis, his role may become even more critical. The question on everyone's mind is, how will Bindi and Robert handle the weight of this crisis? Will they be able to continue Steve's vision while navigating the personal and professional challenges that come with such an emotional burden? The future of Australia's zoo and their conservation efforts may now rest in their hands, and fans are wondering how they will adapt to this new reality. Though both Bindi and Robert have shown incredible strength in the face of adversity, this latest challenge is different. The family has always been known for their unity and resilience, but the emotional toll of this news has left many wondering if the Irwin children will be able to maintain the same level of commitment to their father's legacy amidst such difficult circumstances. For Bindi and Robert, the path forward is uncertain. Will they continue to take on the leadership role at the zoo, or will this crisis force them to reevaluate their future? The next chapter for the Irwin children may prove to be the most difficult yet, as they struggle to honor their father's memory while also carving out their own paths in a changing world. The Irwin family has always been synonymous with strength, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to preserving the legacy of Steve Irwin. But in the wake of the shocking announcement, it's clear that even the most formidable families face moments of profound vulnerability. Steve Irwin's sudden passing in 2006 left an irreplaceable void, not just for his family, but for the entire world. Known for his larger-than-life personality and passionate advocacy for wildlife, Steve inspired millions of people. Since his death, his family, especially his wife Terry, and his children, Bindi and Robert, have carried the torch. Australia Zoo has become the center of Steve's dream to protect wildlife, and they've continued to educate the world on conservation. But the burden of living up to such an iconic legacy is no small feat. This latest crisis has revealed just how heavy that responsibility is. While the Irwins have always projected an image of strength and determination, the emotional toll of living in Steve's shadow has started to take its toll on them. During their announcement, Terry's voice was strained as she acknowledged that despite their best efforts, sometimes the weight of everything they carry can feel unbearable. It's not just about keeping Steve's dream alive, it's about doing it justice. And that's something that weighs on us every single day, Terry said. For Bindi and Robert, this burden is especially heavy. Both have grown up in the public eye, with the world watching as they strive to live up to their father's extraordinary legacy. Bindi has become an advocate for wildlife conservation, hosting her own television series and continuing her father's work in the most visible way. Robert, with his youthful enthusiasm, has taken on a similar role, becoming a prominent figure in wildlife conservation. But even with their public successes, they, too, feel the strain of trying to fill the shoes of a larger-than-life figure. The announcement, though vague, made it clear that this crisis is something they cannot handle alone. The pressure of balancing their personal lives, running a massive wildlife sanctuary, and continuing to honor Steve's memory is taking a significant emotional toll. As the family faces this crisis, many fans are left wondering if the constant challenge of honoring Steve's vision has become too much. Will they be able to continue their mission without sacrificing their well-being? Or will this crisis force them to reevaluate their approach to both the zoo and their personal lives? As the Irwin family faces an uncertain future, the question on everyone's mind is, what happens to Australia Zoo and their conservation efforts moving forward? Australia Zoo, which has been the heart of Steve Irwin's legacy, is more than just a wildlife park. It is a sanctuary for endangered animals, a global hub for conservation, and a living tribute to the crocodile hunter himself. Terry, Bindi, and Robert have all played pivotal roles in expanding the zoo's reach, building Steve's dream into something that continues to educate, inspire, and protect wildlife worldwide. But as they face this personal and emotional crisis, the family has made it clear that the future of Australia Zoo will depend on difficult decisions. Terry Irwin, who has been the rock of the zoo since Steve's death, spoke candidly in the emotional announcement. "This place, this mission, it's everything Steve and I worked for," she said. "But there are moments when you have to recognize that the challenges we face are bigger than any of us." While the family is committed to continuing their work, it's clear that the crisis they're currently facing will affect the zoo's day-to-day operations. Financially, emotionally, and logistically, the Irwin family is being tested in ways they never anticipated. The zoo is home to thousands of animals, many of which are part of critical breeding and conservation programs. The financial stability of the zoo depends heavily on its ability to maintain a balance of visitors, donations, and corporate sponsorships, something that is already strained due to the global economic climate. But beyond the financial aspect, the emotional impact on the Irwin family is undeniable. The loss of Steve's leadership and the pressure of continuing his legacy has weighed heavily on them for years. And now, faced with an unexpected crisis, they must decide whether to scale back their efforts, pass on some responsibilities, or find new ways to continue their conservation work without burning out. Bindi and Robert have grown into formidable conservationists in their own right, but with their personal and professional lives being so intertwined with their father's legacy, it's unclear what role they will take in the zoo's future. The question remains, will they be able to carry the weight of Steve's dream into the future? Or is this the beginning of a new chapter, one where the Irwin family is forced to rethink their mission? As the family navigates these challenges, the world watches closely. For the fans who have followed the Irwin family's journey from the beginning, the next steps in the Irwins' legacy are uncertain but still incredibly important. As the Irwin family faces their toughest challenge yet, the question looms larger than ever. Will Steve Irwin's legacy endure, and how will it continue in the face of adversity? Steve Irwin's vision for wildlife conservation wasn't just about animal preservation, it was about inspiring a global movement to protect the Earth's most vulnerable creatures. For over a decade, the Irwin family has worked tirelessly to keep Steve's dream alive, building Australia Zoo into a global icon of conservation. But now, with the future uncertain and the emotional weight of Steve's absence still present, the family is being forced to re-evaluate how to carry forward that legacy. The Irwins have always been driven by their father's passion, but this latest crisis has made it clear that they can't continue at the same pace without addressing their personal needs, health, and well-being. Terry, Bindi, and Robert have always been pillars of strength, but even the strongest need support when the weight becomes too heavy. The legacy of Steve Irwin has always been a team effort, and while the family has faced challenges in the past, nothing compares to the gravity of the crisis they now face. Despite the heartbreak, the family's commitment to wildlife conservation is unshakable. Bindi has made it clear that she will continue to advocate for the animals, ensuring that Steve's work isn't forgotten. "We've always known that we carry a big responsibility," she said. "But no matter what happens, we will keep fighting for wildlife." Robert, too, has stepped up in ways that honor his father's work. His expertise in wildlife conservation and his dedication to Steve's values are evident in everything he does. Yet, there's still the question of whether the family can continue to run the zoo with the same level of passion and devotion. The emotional toll of the loss of Steve, coupled with the family's current crisis, has left them at a crossroads. Australia Zoo has always been a living tribute to Steve's mission, but the future is uncertain. The question that remains is whether the family can continue their father's legacy in a way that ensures the zoo's survival while maintaining their own mental and physical health. Fans and supporters around the world are holding their breath, hoping that Steve's dream will continue to inspire future generations, even if the Irwin family's role changes. The legacy of Steve Irwin is more than just the zoo. It's about the passion for wildlife that he instilled in his children and the world. But as the Irwin family faces the difficult road ahead, it's unclear what that legacy will look like moving forward. One thing is certain: Steve Irwin's influence will never truly fade, but how his family carries it into the future will shape the next chapter in his incredible story.